Good afternoon, Patriots, and welcome to the 71st audio chat in the Q News Patriot Rumble channel series. I'm the Q News Patriot, joined again by candidate for Sheriff Aldo Dibelardino from Virginia Beach. My name is SG Anon. For the audience out there, you have been watching videos probably over the last 3 to 4 weeks where we've been following this story out of Virginia Beach, a growing movement of patriots down that way trying to get redress and lawful audience for grievances against the government, grievances against the county officials, various individuals involved in the judiciary, law enforcement, and so on. And what we've observed from this side is a continuing escalation of force from the opposing side against we the people in an almost surprising and yet unsurprising way. Earlier in this month, we saw Sheriff Aldo, or excuse me, candidate for Sheriff Aldo, apprehended for peacefully protesting, holding a poster board in front of a courthouse. It's my honor to have him on today to discuss that experience and more. Aldo, thank you for joining us.
Great day, sir. Great day to you.
I apologize. We've had a slight audio interruption.
We the people have power. That power comes in our numbers.
Indeed, my friend, I apologize. We did have a slight audio interruption, but we heard that we the people have the power and it comes in our numbers. Was that the takeaway from that small segment?
Yes, that was. I'm back on. Shall I continue?
Yes, please. Please do.
So on the 15th of this month, I organized a group. We went into our grand jury, and at the appropriate time after the grand jury was sworn in and charged, and when they had authority, a gentleman named Victor Jackson stood up as a point of order to present to the grand jury evidence of corruption in our community and our courts. He was immediately tackled by the sheriff, so much so that they injured several people in the courtroom, arrested some others. It was a mess. I was there as well. They escorted me out of that building onto the grounds of trespassing as well. Victor was let out after 5 days of jail. He was given 10. He was let out of 5. I organized some patriots to sit out in front of the courthouse lawfully with the sign that you see next to me to do 3 things: to educate the citizens about the power our grand jury has to restore accountability to our reality, and to poll citizens on their due process or fair treatment, where our courts treating them fairly, and to protest Victor's unfair and unlawful jailing. We were doing it at a location that we had been told before by the sheriffs was fine. It was on the other side of the flagpole. In fact, it was 152 feet away from the front door of the court. I measured it. After 4 days of doing that, and by the way, on the first day we did it, I sent an email to the sheriff's office advising them we would be doing daily morning protests to let me know if I needed a permit or anything else. No response from them. On Friday, the 19th, of the fourth day of us doing it, a sheriff's deputy approached me with a city ordinance. I read it. I looked at it. It looked very specious. He gave me a 15-minute warning. The ordinance was signed by the sheriff, which is startling to me because the sheriff takes a sworn oath to uphold our Constitution. He is not allowed to act on ordinances and codes that abridge or diminish our constitutional rights. He's there as a constitutional officer to protect our rights. So here we had a deputy sheriff sent by the unlawfully sworn sheriff who was not elected to enforce a city code that abridged or diminished our rights to free speech, to gather, to protest, and gave me 15 minutes, which I stood my ground. And 15 minutes later, they arrested me. SG has that video. Maybe you want to play that now, sir.
Indeed. Allow me just a moment here to get it pulled up and playing.
Of what they did this morning.
Great morning, Patriots. We are out here at our courthouse trying to educate the public about the importance of our grand jury, trying to ask citizens if you've been wronged by our courts or whether our courts are treating you fairly. We just got a visit about 5 minutes ago from 3 sheriffs who handed me this administrative directive. It is signed by Mr. Holcomb, our unlawfully appointed sheriff. And it says approved as to content, Mr. Holcomb, approved as to legal sufficiency, signed by the city attorney and approved by the city manager. None of those officials are out here.
They're trying to force us to get further away from the courthouse. So now, we're out here because...
This is where all the people come from. Hold on one second, Aldo. They come across the parking lot. That's where the people are. They want us to go way over there where nobody will see anything or be able to talk to us.
So the first time we started to protest, they said you're fine as long as you're on the other side of that pole. And they came out yesterday and said, you know, just get off of the pavement onto the sidewalk. Now today they're telling us we have to go a football field's length that way. I'm suspect about when this document was actually signed because it appears to be wet ink, but according to them, it's, you know, 3 weeks ago or June or whatever. I suspect that they backdated the document, but I'm not sure. But Mr. Holcomb, who was unlawfully appointed, will not come out. We've asked for him to come out. The city attorney's name is on here, as is the city manager. There's no reference to city council. There's no representation to the people about what's fair. We are not impeding any of the public. This is the path of the public to our courthouse. This is the logical place for us to interact with them. What they're clearly doing is attempting to shut us down by pushing us out of the way, and we're simply not going to stand that. We need your support, though. We need you to call the sheriff's office, call the city attorney's office, call the city manager's office, come down here and show up. Express your rights as citizens. We have them. You need to understand what's going on in our courts. You can film from right there.
Okay. And why are you arresting him? Excuse me, what's your name, Rupert? Why are you arresting him?
For the same reason you could be arrested for obstruction the other day.
I'm not obstructing justice. There's an injustice going on. Now, you're committing a crime, and you are not following the Constitution, and you.
Loosen the cuff up! You're hurting my out!
Okay, that's brutal. That's brutality.
Just the fucking doctor yesterday.
Are you going to collect your signage and leave, or go to the proper spot?
Loosen the cuff up! You're cutting off my circulation!
If you don't collect your signage and go to the correct
I'm going to video this first, and then I will go ahead and go. But yeah, you know what? You are really a disgrace to this country.
I know you told me the other day I was a disgrace to liberty. I got you. I know your opinion. That's fine.
Oh, it's the truth. It's not my opinion. It is truth, boy. It's truth. And you guys are working for the criminals, the crime ring.
Okay.
The mafia, basically.
I'm not. I'm standing here. You make fucking.
This is the way you treat people? How do you sleep at night?
He was given a lawful order.
No, it is. That is a false arrest.
I'm going to tell you to start packing your stuff and go to where you need to be, or leave.
Because you don't like what I'm saying. I'm not trespassing. This is public property, and we pay for it with our taxes. Get away. Get away from me.
Activity.
You step back.
You're an expressive activity.
Step back.
And you're not allowed to be here with your expressive activity.
Step back.
Your expressive activities are authorized over there.
Well, how come the Jehovah's Witnesses were allowed to stand over there yesterday?
They're not here today for us to tell.
Well, you know what? They've been there. You didn't say anything to them. You didn't say it was.
It's trespassing. It's trespassing.
Hey, it is not. You are trespassing. You're trespassing on public property right now. We own this.
I think the video sort of speaks for itself. And actually, at the very end of that, we heard a very telltale slip from the gentleman on screen saying, well, they're not there today, implying that the rules actually shift from day to day, and we just decide how, when, and where we're going to enforce them and what exactly they're going to be based on how we woke up anytime between 5 and 7 a.m. that morning. Mr. Dibelardino, I apologize profusely on behalf of we the people that these types of transgressions are occurring in our great republic of these United States. Do you care to walk us through what happened afterward? We saw in the video, of course, that there was clearly roughing up going on. It was obviously very personal. What occurred from there?
Yeah, I had just been to the doctor the day before. They did something called rough cuffing on me. In fact, in the medical reports from the Virginia Beach and the Norfolk jails, because they moved me to the Norfolk jail immediately, they noted the marks on my arms and the numbness in my hand. They took me in to book me, and the magistrate set a $1,500 bail bond, which is obscene. There should have been a $0 personal recognizance bond because I'm a 50-year resident. I have no criminal history. I own a property. I went to school in the area. I'm a well-known citizen, respected by many. And I am, not only was I hired to become a deputy sheriff, I am a candidate for the elected sheriff position. So I have no reason to run. And a bond is there in case you run. They can come chase you down or hire a bond bailsman to come find you. So it should have been a $0 personal recognizance. Sign here, you can go home, Mr. Dibelardino. Because they set the bond so high, I didn't have $1,500 on me. I didn't have my wallet or my phone or my keys. It was handed off to my friends along with my possessions because it was not secure for the items to be in the police or the sheriff's possession. So they put me on the, handcuffed and put me on the phone in the jail to call my own phone number, which is the only number I have in memory. But I have Google software that screens calls from unknown numbers, which wouldn't allow the courthouse call to go through. So I had no means to contact anybody. So basically, I was stuck in their system, and I was unlawfully detained because I couldn't free myself, and my friends didn't know what to do. So I was stuck waiting. So then they processed me into their jail, took my blood pressure, found out it was 200 over 160, did nothing about that, noted the marks on my arm and the numbness in my arms that I reported. And after a while, they took the rest of my possessions off of me, put me in their jumpsuit, and began to walk me down the hall from the intake area into the jail, only to turn me around and put ankle chains on me, put me in a van, and send me to the next city's jail. Nobody told me why I was being handled this way. Nobody told me why the bond was set so high so that I couldn't get myself out. Nothing, no answers, nothing. I get to the Norfolk jail. They med intaked me there. They documented my high blood pressure, the marks on my arm, the numbness in my hand, left me in the intake cell for a while, and wouldn't answer my questions as to why I was there. And I got put up on the floor. I ended up staying in jail there till Sunday night when I could finally get out. It was obscene and ridiculous. That's the second time I've been unlawfully jailed for court corruption and standing up to it. And I can tell you from the bottom of my heart that our jails make problems worse. I tell your listeners, there's a concept of heaven and hell and it existing and coexisting in our reality. If you want to see a piece of hell in your reality, go visit your local jail and walk through there and get a sense of what's going on, because our jails are being operated in a way to profit the jails and justify the existence of the system, and they're violating due process rights and our Constitution terribly for a segment of our community that needs help. They don't need to be abused by the system for profit. They need counseling. They need resources. They need to be shown the road of redemption and to be given accountability partners to encourage them on that path so that they can be redeemed. They don't need to be run around the tree so that a bar officer can make thousands of dollars and live in a fancy house. But that's the way our jails are being run.
Absolutely remarkable, and a theme that we've been exploring in recent weeks and months here on Q News Patriot. So going forward from that, Aldo, you said you were released this past Sunday, I would presume. And so now we are at midweek here on the next week. What is the next step for the Virginia Beach Patriots and your campaign for the elected sheriff's position?
We have some new filings going in. I'll make you aware of in due time here in the next few days. But tomorrow I have a scheduled hearing in Circuit Court in Richmond, Virginia. You can go on to the Court of Public Awakening and read about it. It was an open petition by We the People filed on March 27, 2024, to force the Virginia Supreme Court to release the last 5 years of court complaints against attorneys and against judges to a special grand jury and to the public for them to look at what's going on. I personally have filed complaints against attorneys and judges for lying and deceiving our courts on the record. It's called fraud upon the court. And when the court becomes involved with complicity and knowledge, it becomes fraud upon the public, and it's systemic. It's also known as bar mafia activity. And that hearing is this tomorrow, Thursday, the 25th at 1 p.m. There's a flyer on the website that gives you the details. We've invited citizens from across the state who have grievances with our court. We want you to be heard. That is a court of record, means our Constitution for them to be heard. That's where our courts exist, to hear the grievances of the people. And a retired Judge Spencer is going to be holding court there. Her husband is a retired federal judge, so we have the dynamic duo of judges, because there's a part of this matter that is pending in the federal appeals court in Richmond. So hopefully that hearing will go off well, that the court will allow the public to be heard, the grievances to be heard and documented. There's a whistleblower from the Bar Association who was there for 20 years, who's an expert who can explain to the public how these complaints get denied systematically. In fact, we know from their own released statistics, every year about 85% of the complaints that get filed get a cover letter that says nothing we can do. They don't get looked at. So just think about if 85% of the calls to our 911 got met with a message saying we can't help you, what would our reality look like? It would look like chaos. From the last 5 years, we know there are over 20,000 complaints in the state of Virginia alone. We want them released. We want them to be given to a special grand jury to look at and take appropriate actions. That is a step in the right direction towards restoring accountability or reality, so that those who lie in our courts and otherwise will be held to account by a jury of their peers. That's what we need, restoration of accountability. It starts with that. We filed other petitions that are ongoing as well, one related to the Virginia Beach Sheriff, but more importantly, to restoring the grand jury to the people. I'd like to talk a little bit about that. I want to shift gears with your listeners. We have a grand jury system. It came with us when the country was founded, from times of antiquity when there were kings and queens that ruled us. And it was set up so that the people could express their grievances to the kings and the queens before things got out of control. Things could be fixed and done. And it's a part of what the grand jury system is there to do. It's in the Magna Carta. The grand jury came to us through Article 5 in the Bill of Rights of our Constitution. Based on the way it's in our Constitution and a 1992 ruling by Anthony Scalia, it's called black letter law, meaning it's irrefutable. In the Williams case, the grand jury is separate than the three branches of government. The three branches of government cannot rule over it. It is for the people, by the people. I am a peacemaker sheriff seeking peace for all souls. There is a path through eternity for all souls to live in unity. That's our destiny. The grand jury is a mechanism to do that. When I get elected, I'll ensure that the grand jury goes back to the authority of the people to be administered by the people with some help from a constitutional sheriff office. You do not want many groups of citizens armed in our courthouses. That will cause other problems. The sheriffs are sworn to take an oath to uphold the Constitution. They are properly armed and can keep our court sheriff safe for all parties, no matter what grievances between them. And they'll ensure, I as a peacemaker sheriff with a constitutional authority will ensure that the grand jury remains under the administration of the public, and life will get better for us because we will become accountable to one another, which was the original intention. It fits naturally with the natural laws that we live under, and that baton of power will get handed from one grand jury to the next. So it won't stay in one place too long, and it will be very focused on the issue of the moment, the very serious issues that will be brought to the grand jury. So I want to stress to your viewers, there's a path to a better reality for us. It's through our grand jury. Now, how do you help? You're not in Virginia Beach, but you're a digital patriot warrior. We need you to take action. I call this lawful, coordinated patriot actions. All evil needs is for good people to do nothing, and I tell you to be distracted. I'm going to tell you the good things to do. Go to the Court of Public Awakening page. Scroll down to the how-to page on to take lawful, coordinated patriot actions. There are several items there for you to do. Choose what you wish, what you're comfortable with. I would focus you in on item number 4. We need patriots to overwhelm the Virginia Beach Sheriff's Office with demands to release body cam and building footage from what happened in our grand jury room on 7/15 when they jumped us, jailed us, hurt us, and shut us down. The public needs to see that body cam footage. Right now, all we got from the Virginia Beach Police was the body cam footage from July 1. The Sheriff's Department have it from July 15th. You can contact them and send them a Facebook message. You can call them and lodge a complaint. You can email them. That information is in item number 4 on the action page. Be a warrior. Put your other stuff aside for a moment. Take action. Share it with 10 of your friends. Take action. That is leveraging we the people's power in a lawful, coordinated manner that will overwhelm the corruption in our system. So please, that's the most important thing. If you take nothing else away from this interaction in this video, take action, please.
Unbelievably powerful and extremely well spoken. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Aldo, I have one last question for you, my friend, before we conclude our talk until next time, and that is about your faith. You have now been extensively persecuted just in the short time frame that QNP has been following this story, and unlawfully incarcerated twice. And so far, all I've seen is a very determined, dogged effort to take back the pulpit of we the people's power and restore liberty and a better quality of life to our communities. I fail to see where that crosses boundary lines. So with that being, sort of the pretext for it, what has this done for your relationship with God Almighty?
It has strengthened it eternally. I am the man in the arena, and I will not step down, but not get, it says, you hear things from history that say, give me liberty or give me death. You're like, wow, that's pretty extreme, but I know what that feels like because that's where I'm at. I'm in the arena. I will not back down. There is nothing evil can do. There are things worse than death in this world, and one of them is being stuck in a pit of deception eternally, and that is not our destiny, people. And so I'm in the arena. You can be in the arena with me. Be the digital patriot. Get online and pick an item on that list. I'm focusing on number 4, take action. Let's take back our reality. Let's take back our destiny to be in unity with one another, to be in unity with our Creator. There's a path to do it. There's a means and a methods. Jump on board, feel it. He will fill you with the power as he does me, and there's nothing to stop us.
As they fall, we the people rise. Aldo, it's been a true pleasure to have you back on the show. God bless you. I'll be following you and we'll be in touch. For the audience out there, I hope you very much enjoyed our interaction today and our conversation. If you'd like to learn more, please navigate to courtofpublicawakening.org. And then there's a link on the middle of the page there, excuse me, where you can click a how-to for lawful coordinated liberty actions. This is SG Anon. I'll be back with all of you again soon on the Q News Patriot. Thanks, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.
Thank you. God bless.